I think one of the most important things to talk about is actual cleanliness of your grills and smokers. A lot of people end up in the hospital every year because of problematic issues with bad grill brushes. In the olden days, before technology came around, we used to find these brushes. My dad used one, I'm sure my grandfather used one, because we just didn't have anything better. Well, technology has come across that we are presented with a whole bunch of options to alleviate the fact that all these tiny little bristles of steel actually come out. And how do they come out? Well, they come out on the baked on carbon on your grill grates that are on your grill, because people just don't clean their grill as well as they should. Probably because they just don't know how. You just finished cooking a whole bunch of food. Your grill is very, very gummy right now. It's full of all kinds of food particles and baked on carbon. You don't want to go in there with your grill brush and start attacking it right off the bat. Help yourself out. Get yourself a really good cleaner. Right here at Capital, we sell this thing. It's called Grill and Grate Cleaner. And it's actually produced by Grill Grate. Apply this, let it bake in, and it'll loosen everything up so that when you come across with that grate, it all slides right off. Let's talk about brushes. We've talked about the nasty brush, but we haven't talked about the great brushes. Now, there's a lot on the market right now. Again, you can come to the candy store and you can look at our aisles. They're full of wonderful brushes. We're gonna start with this one. Now, you may say, there's bristles on this brush. Well, there's bristles on all the good brushes that I'm gonna show you. But the thing that differentiates this brush from, let's say, this brush is when you talk about the pieces of steel, these pieces of steel are this long, and there's literally thousands of them on each brush that can come off. On this brush, it's one piece of steel that's really long, okay? And they just wound it. So if you were to have a piece of steel, as in on the brush, come loose, that piece would be 30 feet long, and I'm pretty sure you notice it. So we have this one, which is really cool. It's really big. It's got a great, a great surface. You've got this one. You've got this one, which is really cool because on the back, you've got a little scraper. Same with this one. And then if you take a look at the edge, it's all about the design, eh, kids? It's all about the design. You've got a tiny little notch here and you're wondering, what's that for? That's to clean the actual grate. It actually is round, and most grates are round. You can just clean it up. Yeah, a piece of wood. Now you may think a piece of wood, what do you do with a piece of wood? Well, wood has a tendency to score. So when you produce heat to it, it's actually gonna burn a little bit. When it's hot, you push a claw across the grates. Now that's gonna create little indentations in the wood, which allow it to go between the grates. Now the only thing about this is it's a disposable unit. Once you get down to a certain point, it's not gonna wanna clean anymore. So what can you do with this? Put it in your grill and smoke with it. I don't know. I'm left with one last brush, but actually it blew me away. I just saw this today and I think it's brilliant. It's produced by a company called BBQing. We all know BBQing, great grills, but they also make pretty slick accessories. Now, what does that look like to you? I think it looks like an ice cube tray. Why, yes, it is. Ice to clean a grill. If you think about it, it makes perfect sense. Water, steam, perfect, and a little bit of an abrasive surface. Now, you take your heads out, you fill your little baskets with water, and then you put these into the baskets. You throw that in the freezer, you take one of these out. Now remember, you've got an ice cube forming in here. Boom, ice cube, a little abrasive surface. Take your brush, you're gonna see two little notches at the top of the brush. You just simply fit them in there and snap it into place. Now you've got the slickest tool ever. As you're cleaning, it has an abrasive surface and the ice will melt onto the hot grates, letting it all loosen up and slide right off. One of the slickest tools I've seen in a long time, produced by BBQing. Now we know the difference between Mr. Good and Mr. Bad. Grill safe. I'm Steph the Grilling Gourmet.